One time former Provost College of Medicine and former CMD era specialist teaching hospital and the current directorate for Center for Strategic Studies and Development, Professor George Akpeni. We also want to quickly recognize the presence of the former Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration, Professor P.O. Obiasui. We want to also recognize the presence of former Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration, Professor P. We also want to quickly recognize the presence of the Senate Rep and the AAU Governing Council, Professor V.U. Okoji. Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration, Ambassador University Ekoma, Professor Theophilus Agweda. You are welcome. I also want to quickly recognize the presence of the former Deputy Vice Chancellor Academy, Professor M.A. Aseke, representative of the Ojira of Iroa Kingdom, His Royal Highness Alhaji Momodu II, the Okai-Isan, by highly respected chief from the palace, led here by Lord Apesi Dandi, Enahe of Iroa Kingdom. We want to recognize all senators who are here present. You are welcome. All heads of department, especially the acting head department of Agriculture, Professor Frederick Ubesia Igene. Ladies and gentlemen, please kindly turn to your right, turn to your left, as our custom is. Welcome your neighbor first. So Ambrosali University Ekoma, second, you can tell him how you live. Thank you very much. Without wasting your time,
principal officers of our great university, former principal officers here present, former Vice Chancellor of Ambrose Ali University Ekoma, I hereby declare open the 130th inaugural lecture of our great university, Ambrose Ali University. Opened. Principal officers of our great university, former principal officers here present, former Vice Chancellor of Ambrose Ali University here present, distinguished members of Senate, Congregation and Convocation, distinguished guests, staff and valuable students of Ambrose Ali University, great Nigerian students, our royal fathers here present, my Lord, spiritual and temporal, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the 130th in the series of inaugural lectures of this great university and the 25th in our bi-monthly series, which is being delivered today by Professor Gladys Igene, a professor of agricultural economics, Faculty of Agriculture, Natural Resources and Food Science. It is titled Food and Nutrition Security Quagmire, What Alternative Do We Have? This is the 11th inaugural lecture from the Faculty of Agriculture, Natural Resources and Food Science, and the second from the Department of Agricultural Economics and Extension Management. Today, we gather to explore a critical issue: food and nutrition security quagmire. What alternative do we have? Food and nutrition security are fundamental to national development, public health, and individual well-being. Ensuring access to nutritious food is essential for human capital development. However, we face complex challenges such as food insecurity, issues of inavailability, accessibility, and affordability, nutrition insecurity, like malnutrition, macronutrient deficiencies, and diet-related diseases. The inaugural lecturer of today, our very distinguished Professor Gladys Igene, is an expert in agricultural economics. She will be addressing the challenges of the food and nutrition security quagmire, and at the same time providing alternative solutions to these challenges. I will therefore leave her to do exactly what she has called us here to watch and listen to her. I implore all of us to listen attentively. But before we begin this intellectual journey, let me again use this medium to express our profound gratitude to the visitor and the Executive Governor of Edo State, distinguished Senator Monday Okebolo, and the Governing Council of our great university for their unwavering commitment towards creating an enabling environment for teaching, research, and learning for both staff and students. I want to reassure you of the university management's commitment towards the welfare of staff and students. As I conclude this address, let me appeal to all staff to join hands in this management to maintain and sustain the peace and industrial harmony we currently enjoy. Significant progress is being made at all fronts to ensure that the university reclaims its rightful place among the committee of universities in Nigeria and gets the needed government's attention. Remember that united we stand, but divided we fall. Let's avoid the mistakes of the past and forge a common front for the overall good of all. Finally, I congratulate our distinguished Professor Gladys Igene, her family, the Department of Agricultural Economics and Extension Management, and the Faculty of Agriculture, Natural Resources and Food Science, as she performs the intellectual rites of initiation into the community of academic giants. I thank you all for your presence. May God bless us all.
Good evening. All protocols duly observed. Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, stand here today to make citation on this wonderful colleague of ours, whom we understand why as I go on in this presentation. Professor Mrs. Gladys Igene, a distinguished professor of agricultural economics, was born 31st of March 1971 into the family of Mr. and Mrs. Clifford Osanwanyi Esopomu of Oza, Aipe Okunla, Oyan local government area of Edo State. Her early education started at Ogbe Primary School, Benin City in 1970. She obtained a B.Agric Honours second class upper degree in agricultural economics and extension from Edo State University in 1996. Took her to the University of Ibadan, where she obtained masters for the compulsory NYSC program. Professor Gladys Igene's academic career began in Ambrose Ali University in 1999 as a graduate assistant, and she rose through the ranks, becoming a senior lecturer in 2011, associate professor in 2014, and a full professor in 2017. She did not miss any promotion, sir. And this was not because she was a woman. This was a demonstration of someone who was focused, committed, and willing to burn the midnight oil. In terms of administrative experience, it will surprise you to know that Professor Gladys is not just only a mother, but also a leader. She has managed She has managed a myriad of responsibilities that has groomed her and transformed her into the iconic figure we see and have come to admire. It will interest you to know, sir, that for the last 15 years without fail, she has consistently served in one form of academic and administrative position in this great university of ours. Yes. At the department and faculty level, her administrative journey began when she led the Department of Agricultural Economics and Extension as head of the department for consecutive sessions, 2012 to 2016 and 2019 to 2021. In between her service as head of department, she served as sub-dean of the Faculty of Agriculture, 2017 to 2019. She is the current dean of the Faculty of Agriculture, Natural Resources and Food Science. Thank you. At the university level, she has served on numerous university committees. I will just mention some. All right. She was member TED Fund Conference and Book Publication Committee 2012 to 2015. Senate Rep in the Ad hoc Junior Staff Disciplinary Committee 2014 to 2015. Member Local Organizing Committee till Inaugural Workshop funded by Itoka in 2016. Senate Rep Academic Planning Committee 2014 to 2017. Member Senate Committee on Revalidation of Results 2021 to 2023. Member Senate Committee on Textbook Assessment, Evaluation and Control 2021 to 2024. Vice Chancellor's Rep University Curriculum Committee. Vice Chancellor Rep Appraiser and Promotion Committee Faculty of Environmental Studies 2021 to date. Member Appointment and Promotions Committee Teaching and Non-Teaching 2024 to date. Member Council Committee on Development, Physical Planning, Capital Works and Tender Boards 2025. Yes, she has serious management experience. Other ad hoc experience are member Organizing Committee for the International Conference by the National Association of Women in Academics AU Chapter 2016. Member Organizing Committee for the first International Conference of Organization of Women in Science and Development, Benson Ida Usa University, Benin City 2017. Professor Gladys Igene has served in the editorial board of many learned journals. Some of these are Journal of Agricultural Science and Natural Resources, University of Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Nigerian Journal of Agriculture and Forestry, and the Asian Journal of Agriculture and Land Resources. She is currently the editor-in-chief of the Nigerian Journal of Agriculture and Forestry. Now, you will agree with me that the mark of excellence among academic staff globally is the level of our academic output measured by publications. I'm proud to say that Professor Mrs. Gladys Igene has published extensively in both local and international journals, with 48 publications to her credit. She has also written a book, a widely referenced textbook titled Fundamentals of Agricultural Marketing in 2015. She has also contributed to chapters in books, namely Gender Mainstreaming in Animal Production, that is 2024. Of great import to us is that she is not only a lecturer, but she has mentored several students over the years. To her credit, she has mentored 251 undergraduate students, 5 PhD students, and 8 MSc students, and has supervised several PG studies. In terms of external engagement, programs under the United Nations and European Union with a focus on women empowerment and violence elimination. She is also the founder of Otasowe Out of School Children Foundation humanitarian NGO focused on several vulnerable children education threats. Several of them. In terms of professional membership, member of the National Association of Women in Academics, member of the Organization of Women in Science and Development, member of the Graduate Women. Professor Mrs. Igene has received multiple awards. Multiple. I'll mention 3 here. She received award of excellence by the National Association of Agricultural Economics and Extension Students. She has also received award of excellence by the National Association of Agricultural Students. It will also interest you to know, sir, that even our community has also given her an award as the first female PhD holder of the community. Professor Mrs. Igene has served as a visiting lecturer of technology at Akure, National Open University, and Benson Idausa University. In conclusion, sir, Professor Mrs. Igene is a devout Christian, and her steadfast devotion and active participation in church activities have been well appreciated. She is a member of the Parish Pastoral Council, Annunciation Catholic Church, and the CWO president at the outstation of the parish, St. Paul, Usenu, Iraq. She's married to the one and only Professor Frederick Ubesia Igene. She is blessed with 4 kids. Please, can the children stand up? Can we see the children, please? 3 boys and 1 girl. Sorry, I said 3 boys. Sorry, my apologies. 3 men and 1 lady. Hallelujah. Thank you very much. God bless you. You know, sir, yesterday we were going to see her at home, and we missed the way, so she said she was going to come and direct us. So when we were going, we saw her in front. So I now told the other colleague, I said, oh, there she is, let's go to her meet her. We thought it was the daughter because she said she was going to send the daughter. When we got there, they look exactly alike. Thank you very much. Mr. and Mrs. Sir, my citation of this erudite scholar will not be complete if I do not point out something very unique about her, both at home and at the professional level. She is synonymous with the word first. That is number 1. Let me explain. Professor Mrs. Igene is the first daughter of Mrs. Rose Esokomo. She is the first female to bag a PhD in our community. She is also the first female professor from our community. She is the first female lecturer in the Department of Agricultural Economics and Extension. She is also the first female professor from the same department. She is the first female head of department in our department. She is the first female dean of the faculty of agriculture. I'm not done yet, sir. I'm not done yet. She is the first female inaugural lecturer from the faculty of agriculture. And sir, I'm not done yet. She's also the first female inaugural lecturer in this university to speak on quagmire. It is my honor, sir. It is my honor, sir, to present to you a distinguished scholar and researcher, Professor Gladys Igene, who stands as the 138th inaugural lecturer of Ambrose University, Ekoma, the 11th inaugural lecturer from the Faculty of Agriculture, Natural Resources and Food Science, the 2nd inaugural lecturer from the Department of Agricultural Economics and Extension Management. Join as I invite to the podium this great Mrs. First.
An extended family, all invited guests, my lords, spiritual and temporal, all students present here, greatest Nigeria students, greatest of the greatest Nigeria students, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, before you is the bowl of cola nut, and we have chiefs present. If you don't mind, you can do justice to the bowl of cola nut. Thank you, sir.
Like I said earlier, that's the inaugural lecture process of me. I did mention that could have not go the year this to go the traditional way. Good enough, the inaugural lecturer is a member of my family, and for that reason, I will give the cola to the secretary to bring the cola on behalf of the parents. Thank you very much.
Money salary for the poor man of Bengal. Oh, I know Sabwa. Oreda, and Bruciali, or any other gas in the money university number, human. They go there in the way, they are for the done. Mother, you want not one university, a bella daman. Electoral city, what was that one or one day, have my money. You can't get my living, you said why I had one day, and now they come my living. Maribe can a father with tea. Oh, my way, eagerly, who said one or a baba, Betty Yeluna, Ilya Luna. A breaky for the neighbor walk, a neighbor with a breaky for a breaky die. Oto esa Rebecca Fure, Oto Edo Rebecca Fure, Oto Nigeria Fure. Ma kama suwa o. Ma kisilo manape mana. Ikelebe kato ikalo, ukuru wato kalo.
Honored to stand here this day before this mammoth crowd to deliver the second inaugural lecture in the Department of Agricultural Economics and Extension Management. The 11th in the Faculty of Agriculture, Natural Resources and Food Science, and the 110th years in the series of Salim University inaugural lecture. The inspiration to study agriculture came from my secondary school teacher, a great teacher, Mrs. Udwafemi. She was so nice, kind and calm. She so loved the subject she was teaching that I fell in love with her and the subject. I told myself, as a child, that I would like to be like this woman. Hence, the choice to study agriculture. And today, I am an agricultural economist. Not merely by profession, but by conviction. My journey was shaped by the understanding that agriculture is the backbone of our economy, the vehicle for our survival, and its sustainability hinges on sound policies, efficient markets, and innovative solutions. As an advocate for food security, my work revolves around designing macroeconomic policies that ensure food for all. I believe that no nation can truly prosper if its people, especially its most vulnerable, are hungry. Food security is not just about availability. If you go to the street, food are available. The question is, can you access it? It is about accessibility, affordability, and nutrition security. The challenge is not only producing enough food, but ensuring that every household has access to diverse and nutritious diets. Sometimes we keep on eating the same food because you have gone to the farm to uproot cassava. In the morning you will eat apple, in the afternoon you will eat apple, in the evening you will eat apple. That is not food security. Food security ensures that you diversify your diet. In the morning you will eat bread and tea. In the afternoon you will eat yam pottage. In the evening you cannot eat swallow, which is the apple and correct soup. The economic situation in Nigeria today has compromised our feeding habits against nature's design. We don't feed well, but nature has ordained that we feed well. One significant shock to household welfare in recent times, especially in 2023, is the removal of fuel subsidy, which has triggered economic distress among increasing transportation costs, which would have helped us to have food at all times from every corner of Nigeria, and has impacted on food prices. Farmers struggle with high input costs, while consumers face unaffordable food prices. The Lord God, in His wisdom, having placed importance on food, created food before He created man. That you can find from the book of Genesis, chapter 1, 11 to 12. I quote, "Then God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb that yields seed, and the fruit tree that yields fruit, according to his kind, whose seed is in itself on the earth, and it was so. And the earth brought forth grass, the herb that yields seed, according to his kind, and the tree that yields fruit, whose seed is in itself, according to his kind. And God saw that it was good." Another biblical verse is from Genesis 1:29. "And God said, see, I have given you every herb that yields seed, which is on the face of all the earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed, to you it shall be food." On and on. Another verse is in Genesis 2:8-9. These verses show that the Almighty Father ensured that food was available before He created man, demonstrating His care and provision for humanity. Even in the wilderness, when the children of Israel got tired and were hungry, they complained. God made manna available to them as food. Food and nutrition security remain a pressing challenge of our time, a quagmire threatening the very fabric of human survival and dignity. The ability to access sufficient, safe and nutritious food is not merely a basic human right, but the cornerstone of economic development, social stability, and global health. This inaugural lecture seeks to inspire a dialogue on bold and inclusive strategies that can address food and nutrition security. Let us embark on this journey together, armed with hope, innovation, and a commitment to building a resilient and food-secure world. What is food and nutrition security? The condition in which all people, at all times, have physical, social, and economic access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food that meets their dietary needs and food preferences for an active and healthy life. The availability of food in adequate quantities and quality, not just to eat, but to eat quality food. The ability to access this food and the proper utilization of the food to maintain a healthy and active life. There are 4 dimensions of food security: availability, accessibility, utilization, and stability. If you go through the market square, you will see food. If you go to New Benin market, Agbado market, you will see food. But the problem is, can you access it? Why are you not accessing it? You do not have the capability to access this food. Nutrition security, on the other hand, is to access healthy, affordable, and safe food that promote optimal health and well-being for all. It encompasses quality, affordability, and the health outcomes food provides. It emphasizes the importance of dietary diversity, like I said before, different types of food, eating at different times, and maximally reducing processed food. Not when you are hungry. You just say, give me Indomie, cook Indomie for me, and let me eat. That's not a nutritious food. Nutritious food will be that food that you put on fire with all the condiments, and when you eat it, you will become healthy. Adequate intake of food is very essential for healthy and productive life, maintaining political stability and ensuring peace among people. Food and nutrition insecurity is a problem in Nigeria today. About 690 million people, that is 8.9%, are suffering from hunger worldwide. 2 billion people have no access to safe and nutritious food. Africa has the highest share of world food. It ranked 107 out of 117 countries and 109 out of the 120 countries in the world. And for the nutrients and go for the ones that are more in calories. Like I said earlier, nutrient deficiency, and they are prevalent. It is not because we are not eating, but rather because we are not eating well and right. Nutrition combination among us. Balanced diet is a diet that contains all the classes of food in their right proportion. I remember when we get to, we'll be telling our mother, where is the carbohydrate, where is the protein, where is the vitamin, where is the minerals. I think today it is no longer so. When we give our children food now, the obstacle in it, which is meat, is rather very animal and plant sources. From the animal sources we have meat, we have two proportions of nutrients, the macronutrient proportion and the micronutrient proportion. The macronutrient, we have the carbohydrates, we have the protein, we have the fat. For a healthy meal, for a full-grown adult, your carbohydrate proportion should be 45 to 65%. Then protein should be 10 to 20%. Fat should be greater than 5%. How many of us take into cognizance this combination as far as nutrient is concerned? Then we also have the micronutrient recommendation. These will fall under vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin D, calcium, iron, zinc. If you have the book, you will see the various recommended proportions. Let me say a little about micronutrients. Only last week when we were in our faculty seminar, BD seminar, we were told of the importance of micronutrients. It was then emphasized that for a full-grown man, micronutrient is very, very important. For example, during intercourse, after you have discharged, if you lack micronutrients, you will not be able to recover for a long while. Therefore, women that are here, if you want your husband to perform well in that upper room, in that inner room, make sure the combination of food is balanced. Take important steps to make sure the traces, which are micronutrients, are well present in the food. Sometimes you complain, they don't perform well. The reason is because of deficiency of micronutrients in their diet. Please continue. Protein intake is also very crucial in maintaining muscle mass. Some of us now, we complain of bones. We complain of muscle mass. That is because we lack protein in our system. It therefore to support immune function, facilitating overall health. The average daily protein consumption per capita is about 45.4 grams. This in Nigeria, this falls below FAO recommendation of 53.8 grams. Daily animal protein consumption is supposed to be 7 to 10 grams per person, which is significantly lower than FAO recommendation of 34 to 35 grams. Take a look at the slide. They are not projecting. Okay, take a look at the slide. For a full-grown man, that is if you have to eat swallow. You see the proportion of swallow. You see the soup, omebe, and 2 big fishes. That is how you are supposed to eat your food. But what do we have? A man will be very big. Even the soup will be very small. But the fish, very small. Maybe one now you got into 3. Please not it. Women, men, if your wife does not serve food like that, you know that. That is how it should look like. You are supposed to calculate the grams per your body weight for adequate nutrition. Protein is important, like we have said. Food security quagmire. What is food security quagmire? Quagmire means those things that are not making us to attain maximum nutrition. Maximum nutrition. We know in Nigeria nowadays, it is not easy to feed. I hope people will agree with me. It is not easy to. In fact, that we are existing is the grace of the Almighty. Given the way prices of things are in the market. Before you make a pot of soup, you need at least 15,000 naira bill. If you buy 5,000, you are wasting your time. Yes. In those days, we used to buy one leg of goat for 2,500. Now, a very good one is 16,000 naira. And that is the beginning of the pot of soup. You can't buy vegetable 50 naira in the market anymore. You cannot buy tomato of 50 naira anymore. And in fact, every portion of item traded in the market is now 500 naira. As if 500 naira is now the least denomination of our currency. It is indeed a quagmire. That is the problem we have nowadays. And because of that, what do? We compromise our food. We discover that we now spend more money on drugs. Even the drugs are they cheap. We cannot even afford drugs. Several times I go to a pharmacy, you will see somebody bring a prescription from the doctor. After analyze and tested, you will say, now you cannot give me small. They are not pricing the quantity of drugs to be taken as against the doctor's prescription. It is as bad as that. Now, in Nigeria, these quagmire are rooted in so many factors, such as socioeconomic, environmental, and policy-related factors, namely population growth. The population is growing astronomically. And when population is growing, you know there will be pressure on infrastructural development, thereby reducing infrastructure available for food production. You also have climate change. This you have little or no control over. It has really also hampered food security. For example, last year, the rain cut short abruptly. Those who did late maize, beans, they all suffered, still got born because there was no rainfall. We can no longer predict our rainfall. You have resource depletion. You have economic inequality. We are all not equal. Some people are rich, some people are poor. You know, in Nigeria, there's no middle class anymore. It's either you are rich or you are poor. That is where we have found ourselves. Then urbanization is also a problem. The major problem again is soaring food prices, which I have just mentioned. Government policies. This subsidy removal is government policy, which has affected us. Another one is insecurity. Insecurity has driven our farmers away from farm. They can no longer go to farms anymore. Even in our local environment, Uromi, for example, Irua is another one, Ekoma is another one. As of December 2024, Nigeria faced a significant food insecurity crisis, with over 33 million people projected to experience acute hunger. Acute hunger. The National Food Consumption and Micronutrient Survey has it that even our children are not growing well. They are stunted, they are wasting, they are underweight. Malnutrition is the order of the day. So many percentages have been written in that review. And I went further to look at food security in Nigeria, historical context. I looked at the pre-colonial era, the colonial era, post-independence era, the one we call SAP, Social Adjustment Program. What was my interest? Just to bring out that this problem of food and nutrition security has been there. But government in its own have been trying. They have been bringing out measures like the Green Revolution, Operation Feed the Nation. They have been doing. Now, the COVID-19 came. We all know what characterized the COVID-19 era. It became a matter of attention here because every day, I just remember how we were buying things, how our prices were in the market, especially during that COVID-19. You know, there was lockdown, and we were told to buy bulk purchases, and we were all in the market buying food stuff. At times, I just wish we could go back to that price level. For example, the post-COVID-19 crisis has taken us beyond our expectations. If you remember, for the ladies here who do food stuff shopping, Gary, this yellow rubber paint, called 4-liter paint rubber, if you can remember, was sold for 700 naira during COVID-19 or pre-COVID-19. Now, how much is it sold? Good. That gave us, I put 2,500 here because in my local market in Irua, it is 2,500. 275% price rise. Won't you say the Almighty, thank you that we are still existing? Yam, a little tuber of yam on medium size then was 500 naira. I'm talking of 2020. Today it sells for about 4,000 naira. Beans, that rubber during COVID-19, when we started that bulk purchases, I bought at 600 naira. Then later it became 650 naira. Today, how much is yellow rubber of beans sold in the market? Good. Oil palm, or palm oil, sorry. 1 liter was 500 naira pre-COVID-19. Today it is worth 2,000 naira. A bag of rice then was 23,000 naira. Today it sells between 70 to 90,000 naira, which gives us about 326% rise in price. On and on. That's why, my listener, I feel we should go back to those days where our money was useful, where we could buy food items in the market. Effect of rising food prices. It has economic effect, social effect, and political effect. It has now led us to higher cost of living. It has brought about inflation. It has impacted on businesses. Businessmen and women here, you will not tell me that we do not have a shock as a result of food increase in prices. Social effects. It brings about insecurity. When people cannot eat because of increase in food prices, they take towards criminality. Health consequences. Professor Ipe was here the last time. He mentioned disease-causing organisms to be viruses, bacteria, protozoa. And I was shocked. I said, he did not mention food. Food is the number 1 cause of disease. If you don't feed well, you trade with your immunity. And when your immunity is broken down, all sorts of diseases will come in. Please eat well if you want to be healthy. That is when we can also now answer the psychological question of how are you, according to Professor Igene. Responding to food insecurity. I also have here household responses. At the household level, we look at your human capital. What do you have to be able to have food security? To be able to have nutrition security? What is the level of your finance? In fact, let us not just go there. Especially salary earners, we are the most hit. We are the most hit. Prices are going up, your salary remains stagnant. We want to thank our Honorable Governor, Senator Mondo Peru, who in March, is a visitor, now gave us the minimum wage. That is why we can even breathe a little. Otherwise, before that time, it was very hard for us, especially in AAU. We could not buy fuel. Our cars were not driven. Don't even talk of going to the mechanic. If you go to mechanic, mechanic says, I'm going to order the part. You don't say part, you go to. People cannot afford parts. So whether we're not dragging buses, 200 naira. I think there was also a free one. It was as bad as that. You guys get the seats are filled up, you will stand and hold your hand like this. It was as bad as that. Those women, I don't know what people don't think women before. Those women that were selling farm produce there, they were no longer coming. Then sometimes this year they were not coming. A friend asked me, we're not going to come again. What happens? He said, we're not going to bring more to come school. That we were not bringing people to school also impacted on their businesses. So that is what we find when we have food prices escalating by the day. But on the government level, they have also tried putting measures in place. There was this palliative that came as a result of increase in prices of all the subsidy removal, conditional cash transfer program, government enterprise and empowerment program, national home growth school feeding program, temporary suspension of import taxes on essential food items, presidential initiative or intervention on food security and pricing. Then they also collaborated with international organizations. Even state governments were also empowered to please help pushing the effect of food prices among our citizens. The question is, how many of us seated here got these palliatives? Despite this effort of government, food insecurity persists. There was a family who was telling me, you have children, how do you go? When the children are going to school, just give them 50 naira or 100 naira, buy biscuits. When they come back from school, what are we going to eat? Go and buy firewood, come and make fire. Before they say all those discourse, it's already 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. When they eat, it's already evening, they go to sleep. Ask our students here, they will tell you the development measures 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. You can eat in the morning, you skip afternoon, you eat in the evening. You can eat in the morning, you do not eat in the afternoon, you do not eat in the evening. These are the various measures we are using to cope with these food increases. As of December 2024, 31.1 Nigerians were projected to face food insecurity by August 2025. When I read this projection late last year, I said, we are not even reached August. August is after July, this is June, July, August. Watch out, this insecurity is going to affect food prices of commodities, especially from the northern parts of Nigeria. Other palliatives include distribution of food supplies, cash transfer, fuel palliative, provision of fertilizer, grants for micro and macro businesses. Our first lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, also had her own measures as a woman to help pushing the effect of rising prices of agricultural commodities. She brought about this renewed hope. She brought about gardening for women. Then she brought about advocacy for youth engagement in agriculture. This is because of the importance she placed on agriculture. Like I said initially, agriculture is the backbone of the economy. That is why we are clamoring. Do agriculture for food security, economic emancipation and nutrition security. Even the Ministry of Agriculture, Federal Agriculture, at the time they even called for prayer for food security. I don't have many of these other publications. They said let us pray because we have already projected that there was going to be food insecurity in the nearest future. We cannot attain agricultural sustainability if we neglect our youth. Youth do not want to do agriculture. Why? Because they feel my father did agriculture. My father was a farmer. They are still thinking that agriculture is a way of life. It is not. Agriculture is now business. Therefore, Mr. Vice Chancellor, I want to use this opportunity at our level What are we doing to encourage youth to go into agriculture? Madam Senator Oluremi Tinubu is an advocate of youth engagement and empowerment in agriculture. I also think at our own level, because if you look at the faculties of agriculture in the country, whether colleges, whether faculties, we have dwindled enrollment. People don't like to read agriculture. Why? Because agriculture competes favorably with the sciences. If I have chemistry, I have physics, I have biology, what do you think I will go and do in the university? But agric is the thing. Agric is the backbone. We need to eat. We need to feed. Therefore, I want to suggest, by way of attracting youth to agriculture, let agriculture be tuition free. Yes. We must do something. It's not out of place. If you have students in the faculty of agriculture here, they start farming, and we have processing factories. From start to finish, they start working there. It is not out of place. We can process food for export. Food is the main thing. We don't have food. Agriculture is dying. Before the oil boom, what was the bone of our economy? As soon as oil came, we neglected agriculture. So go back now is a problem. That is my suggestion, Mr. Vice President. Consequences of nutrition insecurity. Like we have said, malnutrition. We have said mortality, non-communicable diseases. Professor, if I told you, go and add food to the journal of medicine, that it is another cause of disease, so that we can be healthy. Then also cognitive learning and concentration of children will be reduced if they don't feed well. A child that is hungry, can he or she concentrate in school? It is not possible. Then we have social and political consequences. Insecurity, conflict, rural-urban migration is also another problem. Now, surely we will agree with me that government is trying. Some people will also say government is not trying. Whether you agree or you do not agree, government is doing its own. Now, our own, what are we doing in our own little efforts to see that we call this challenge of food and nutrition security? That is the trust of this world, the great alternative. What is the topic? Food and nutrition security quadrant. What alternative do we have? Now the great alternative. Many will say government has tried. Others say no, government is not trying. Now that we have found ourselves in this food and nutrition quadrant, what alternative do we have? You know the alternative? Let me shock you. The alternative is farming. Farming. Go back to farming. At whatever level, do farming. For us here, we are civil servants, we are businessmen and women. We may say, no, we cannot take farming as a full-time. I'm not saying take farming as a full-time. Take farming in a way that it will help to secure nutrition and food in your family. What am I recommending? Given our status here, we are talking about backyard gardening. What did I say? Backyard gardening. So what is backyard gardening? Backyard gardening empowers households to grow their own food, to enhance both food and nutrition security. All that you need is a small portion of land at your backyard or close to your house, and then you farm. I don't know if they are projecting. Yes, backyard farming. It is a small-scale cultivation of vegetables, fruits, cereals, herbs in home spaces, at your yard, at your balconies, at your rooftop, and even in containers. It involves the domestication of small ruminants, goat and sheep, and non-ruminant poultry, pigs, rabbits, animals within and beyond the household. It can significantly contribute to solving the household food nutrition security. To some, it may not, but the extent to which it does may be a partial solution to the problem. Types of backyard gardening. Please project. You can plant on the soil. You can plant in tires. You can plant in bags. can plant a flower bed. That your flower bed, put pepper by the side. You start cutting to fry your egg every morning. You can plant in buckets and pots. Take a look. You can make a small cage and buy beds, 5 to 10 in rain. If you don't have that, a little space, just build a little cage and also put them in deep litters. Semi-intensive goat rearing. You just make a small cage for your goats. They go scavenge, they come back in the evening. You can also supplement by giving them meat. Then on the slide, we also have chickens of scavenging. That time, my mother is there, we used to enjoy that. When we are just hungry or fire, just catch one cup, slaughter it, cook it with a goosey soup, pan your parmesan, you are good to go. You know, these were the ways we were curbing food insecurity. Then, how does backyard gardening solve this problem of food and nutrition security? It does. It improves food availability. You will have food, you will not lack. Just have cassava farm. You go there, uproot, you fry, you soak, you make kakun, you do garri, you soak, you make a man with omebe, you are good to go. It enhances nutrition security. It reduces food costs. Imagine you pluck pepper from your garden. Imagine you carry vegetable from your garden. Imagine you have a little potato from your garden. This money you have spent on this item will be used on other food items. The doctors here will agree with me that exercise is very good to the body. Now that we are here, I just have some suggested practical ways of promoting backyard gardening. Let me shock you. The Faculty of Agriculture, Natural Resources and Food Science in AAU here will in no distance time, Mr. Vice Chancellor sir, involved in seed multiplication for interested farmers, would-be farmers, and backyard gardens. We are going to go into training programs for individuals, staff of the university, and communities on innovative farming methods, e.g. vertical gardening, container gardening, veranda gardening, farming in bags, and hydroponics. Resource accessibility, providing seeds, compost manure, and organomineral nutrient and fertilizer for use. The Faculty of Agriculture in 2024, under the leadership of Professor F.U. Igene as the dean there, went into rice farming. Let me shock you. Ekoma rice is back. The pilot study was done last year and it was successful. In fact, even the villagers who do farm along our road there, they were surprised that the trademark of Ekoma, which had gone into extinction, is back. This year, we have also repeated the field is growing. Take a look. That is the rice field. Mr. Research can attest to that. Brown rice, very attractive, nutritious, unpolished with full nutritional composition. Other ways of enhancing food and nutrition security. You have backyard fishery. This you can do in buckets, in bowls of onion between two states. We chose Kano, where onion is produced, and those states where onion is not produced. And we discovered that every kilometer increased the price of onion with 897 naira. That was then in 2012. Now, every kilometer will increase a kilogram of onion by up to 1,000 naira. So what was now the recommendation? That we can produce onion locally. The Faculty of Agriculture then did a study on the production of onion, and there was a breakthrough. It was successful. So we also encourage us to add onion to our crop that we plant at our backyard, just a little in your bags or in your buckets. We also looked at effect of soaring food prices on food security. A case study of Eastern West Local Government of Edo State, Nigeria. This was carried out by Igene, G.O. and Abiodun Home. In this study, we looked at how prices affect consumption. Of blessed memory, Professor P.B. Imodu of the Federal University of Technology, Akure, may so rest in peace. I extend my sincere appreciation to the faculty of the Faculty of Agriculture, Natural Resources and Food Science, namely Professor S. Lorenzo, Professor P. You are welcome. Thank you. Professor A. U. Omoride, unapologetically absent, so they will not be able to talk.
University management, studies, staff and students of campus and university. I congratulate you, our very distinguished erudite Professor Gladys Igene, having successfully delivered your 130th inaugural lecture of our great university. I present to you this medal to welcome you into the community of academic giants.
Thank you very much, sir. National Association of Agricultural Students, please come over with your presentation. The Faculty of Agriculture, Natural Resources and Food Science, we are ready. Please come over, Professor Daniel. Students.
Food science, natural resources and food science are presenting this separate picture to our able team.
Comrade Sonny Agosa, you're welcome. All the people that came from
Oh shit, let's go.
Are you going to obey it? Are you going to present something?
I am very proud of you. You demonstrated your worth. You again proved that you have all that it takes. You are a true professor. Congratulations. I love you.
So you're ready to give us a 2 minutes worth of dance, ladies and gentlemen. Please hold on. They have enough to give to you. Thank you.
That the peace should come and this university. And growth shall continually be the portion of this university. And for all who come from far and near, we pray that you get home successfully and safely in Jesus' name. In the name of the Father, of the Son, and of the Spirit.
Please remain standing. We'll take
Oh
remain standing. This procession is. We have AAU brother pass and AAU brother ties for those who may be interested at a very affordable price. Professor Orapa, who recommends the presence, you are welcome. Professor Mrs. Sam Efido, the candidate for money. Professor P. Okoji of the Department of Chemistry and Senior Director of the Governing Council of Professor of the University of Nigeria. Minister and Mrs. Igalo Okoyo of ISCA School of Welcome. Pastor and Mrs. Musa Edora, who recognize the presence, you are welcome. You are welcome.
So what can you really say is the take home on this lecture delivered today?
Yes, the take home is that food security is very important for economic development of any nation, including Nigeria. And from what the inaugural lecturer has taught us today, we know that food is very important for human development. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
People are hungry.
Yeah.
Families are hungry. Children are not feeding well. Therefore, we need to look for an approach that can help family, help curb this nutrition and food insecurity, if not totally, at least partially. So we are now encouraging us to go into backyard gardening, if not full farming. With backyard gardening, you can produce some crops that can help to pushing this nutrition insecurity.
Thank you very much, Prof.
Thank you.